Oh.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. Hey everyone, thank you for being here. This is a magical night already. I can tell you. I want to thank you before I forget for letting me have a blast. Thank you for being here for the small fish fry. Thank you for allowing me to create mountains out of molehills. It's really your fault that I do this because you come back week after week listening to me go off and bitch and offer no solutions. So actually, the only reason this exists is because of you. So if you would take a little bit of accountability for the reason this exists, I would be so grateful. We are celebrating 100 episodes. I didn't know that this would make it here, but I'm not surprised that it did. The reason I'm not surprised is because I have a lot of support from a lot of people who allow me, who hold the space for me to be absolutely insane, ask ridiculous questions, knowing full well that we have bigger problems in the world. But somehow, and sometimes this is the only way we can make it through, to realize that we oftentimes do have the same complaints, the same issues, and the same first world problems. I didn't know, as I said, that this was going to get to 100 episodes. It was supposed to be just like a Band-Aid, like a fill-in. Raja was going off to film All Stars. That was going to take a little hiatus. And then Big Dipper was like, wait, I think there's a way that we can just hang in there. You know? And so we decided that we could do that. And so it was going to be just fly by the seat of our pants. It was going to be maybe some talking points about perfume and what was going on in my day to day so we could hang on until Raja came back. And when Raja came back, of course, the world wanted her. And Raja has always belonged to the world. You can never cage a bird like Raja. And why would you want to? But in that time, I realized that it wasn't going to be a forever project for Raja, but this could be a forever project for me. And Raja believed that, Big Dipper believed that, and I believed that. And you ultimately believe that. So here we are. So excited. I don't know where we are going. I hope we have 200 more episodes, 500 more episodes. So many people have been involved in this. I would be absolutely remiss if I did not thank all of the people at Forever Dog, all of the people at Mom, Willem in Alaska, Big Dipper for helping conceptualize this. We have so many people like Stone Cole and Will Pitts who make this happen. Margot Padilla, who comes in every single week and works so hard to make sure that I'm angled right and that I look right and the color is right. And then God forbid we have to fix a hairline because, as you know, sometimes they have to be fixed. I would be crazy if I did not thank some of the other people who helped produce this show in its beginning stages, like Maxwell Esposito and, of course, Mariah Nicholas. A big thanks to Mark Jacobs, who gave this show its legs, and a massive thanks to Doug Robertson, who gave this show its wings. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm thankful you're here, and I'm ready to fuck it up. Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who is not available for your beautiful outdoor dining. Certainly not in this fucking heat. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta.
Go off, Delta!
This is the last weekend of Pride Month. Yeah? It's been a good Pride Month. It's been a good Pride Month. I've been to a few different states. I have been spreading the gospel. It has been wonderful, and I've had a great time. However, you know I always talk about compensation, facilitation, right? And I think this is when we should revisit it. It's been about 6 months or so, and I don't necessarily just want to revisit compensation, facilitation, because you know what those two things are. What I do want to visit is communication and allyship. And what I mean by that is, there are times when people will reach out to me and they'll say, hey, my company is having a queer day for Pride. We're doing a thing. We're having a multicultural event. They have asked me to reach out to someone to bring some sort of presentation. We have a budget. It's going to be fun. Do you think this is something you could do? This is the budget. And sometimes it's not a lot of money. And sometimes people will say, hey, ask for a lot because the company has a lot. So just fucking throw it out there. It is what it is. But let's not just put a rainbow on it. Like, let's do something with that money. Let's make something happen. Let's make it fun. Yeah? I agree. This is going to be a letter that was sent to me, and this was my email response. This is an email from a major sportswear brand based here in Los Angeles. I'm not going to tell you their name. I will just say they've earned their stripes. Hello. And by the way, there's going to be some X's in here crossing out names because some of these people, they had nothing to do with it. They were only making the connection. Hello, I received your contact information from X and wanted to reach out regarding your availability and rates to host a drag bingo at the X offices in Los Angeles. We're hoping to amplify and celebrate Pride Month with our employees in this way. The date would be Wednesday, June 26, 2024. The time would be 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., actual bingo taking place from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., location Los Angeles. This is an adults-only audience. However, there may be some guidance/discussion since it's technically a corporate event. We're looking for you to host, although we're sort of exploring the possibility of kicking it off maybe with a song or performance. So if you're able to provide more on your rates, we'd appreciate it. This is my response within an hour of getting the email. Hi there, thank you for the message. Anytime a large corporation reaches out to queer talent, it means the world. It goes further than just a rainbow. This type of inclusion of the LGBTQIA+ community for your LGBTQIA+ corporate community brings a feeling of inclusion in the workplace and gives positive optics to those companies and corporations who will follow your example beyond June. I would love to be part of this. I could definitely do an all-inclusive rate of X. This would include Uber travel to and from the location, as well as photos with your team. I will complete an in-drag video for you to circulate with your team, making all of your employees aware of the event. I would like to have a heart out of 5:30 p.m. to get to another commitment in Long Beach. I'm happy to discuss more about how these terms fit for this event or how we can make magic happen in the future. A week passed and I didn't get a message, so sent an email. Hi, I'd like to circle back to this conversation and discuss how I can be a fit at this time or in the future. A week passed and I didn't get a message. I sent another message back and I said, I'm circling back for a second time and I wanted to know if these rates were doable at this time or if there's another rate that we could work with and alternate the type of activity that we do. Nothing. I don't think that there's anything wrong with telling someone X dollars is too much. We don't have that in our budget at this time, but thank you for those rates. We will consider them in the future when we do have that available. What we do have available at this time is $2, and we were wondering if you could come give everyone a blowjob for that. I mean, something, you know what I mean? Like, come back with something. These terms are all negotiable, no matter what we do in life. It's negotiable, right? If we go to a restaurant, we're not negotiating like, the spaghetti was only worth $5. No, you read the price, that's what it is. If you didn't like it, that's fine. It's not the server's fault, it's probably the recipe fault, so you probably have an issue with whoever's cooking it. But this is weird to me that I would say probably half the people in here have at least 3 items from this company either wearing them now or have them in their closet. It surprises me that this type of conversation would never just stop at a corporate level if they were having a corporate meeting from department to department. But when they reach out to a clown and they say, we want you to come over here and dance until we tell you to stop, we'll tell you if we're interested or if we're not interested. This is similar to, it's been a long time since I used it. I met my partner on Scruff many years ago when I was in Salt Lake. But Grindr is similar. I'll age myself and say boy ahoy. Some people remember that. When you turn on an app like that and you're interested in just hooking up, people will start sending you messages and you're like, oh, bitch, you wish. Not even, but ain't that lonely yet, okay? I'm cool, this hand still works. This way and this way, like I got it, I'm cool. So you get it, right? And then somebody will come along and you're like, this is the one that I want right here. This is the one I'm gonna put my effort on. And then what happens? You put your effort into it and they're like, no, I'm cool too. So then you try to like sneak back to that other one that really wasn't that great, but you're like, time is fucking running out. Like the water is gonna start getting dirty soon. Like we gotta make something happen. I feel like that's what happens here. They're like, no, I don't know if that's really the one we want. That's the message that I get, is that we don't know and we don't know how to answer you. There's no fucking reason that anybody that is entertaining anything that has to do with bringing in an outside contractor in doesn't know how to respond with a fucking message properly. That's one email. There was another one. These matter, emails matter. No, it wasn't an email. It was an email, but this is an extemporaneous one. A friend who might even be in the audience tonight, because he's a very big supporter, said, my partner works for a company, and I'm not gonna give you the acronym, I'll just say they go to outer space. They are having a multicultural week. And as part of the multicultural week, they would like to bring in a queer voice to be part of one of the week's events. So can I pass your information on? I think they have about $500. And I said, of course, sounds great. Everybody's got a different budget. I bet there's something I could do where I felt comfortable earning that amount of money for that amount of participation. I don't think $500 is what I particularly want, but it's either that or sit at home and order DoorDash. So I bet you there's people out there working probably 2 weeks for $500. And you want me to show up for an hour? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Now, don't get any fucking ideas out there, by the way. Don't get any ideas. 'Cause I'm gonna need a little more of this. I'm just saying. So I thought, you know what? Listen, money's short, times are hard, people aren't coming to drag shows because they don't give a shit. Let me do this. I'm gonna make this work in my favor. So they said they passed on the information and the guy messages, the guy, he, they, them, a person messaged me, and I don't wanna be fucking rude because they didn't say what their pronouns were, so I don't know. I just said, hi friend. And they said, we're having a multicultural week, we would love to bring you out. What we want to do is have you be on a panel and we can talk about drag, and then you can speak with some of the people here that are maybe interested in drag or don't really know much about drag. And I said, all right, let's do that. That sounds great. And he said, well, we would want to do it like, would a Monday or a Tuesday work for you during this specific week? Yes, Monday or Tuesday works great. Okay, well, we have another entertainer that we want to involve in this, but they don't want to be on the panel. They want to do a drag performance. I said, okay, cool. That sounds great. I don't know what day you're gonna be doing the performance, but we could just, I guess, divide up the two events. And they said, well, we thought that maybe you could loop in with them and you could do the panel on Monday and then come on Friday and do the drag performance when they do the drag performance, and then you guys just divvy up the budget. Now this conversation, I don't like to take a call. I really don't like to take a call. This conversation lasted 40 minutes, and at the 20-minute mark, that's where it was introduced to me. We want you to do double the work for half the money, but it'll be really great because people are excited about it. Oh, well, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me people were gonna be excited. I had no idea. So we talked for 40 minutes and I said, here's what we can do. I would love to stick to the original terms. I think the $500 is more than fair. I will offer you an hour of my time to be on your panel. I will come in person to your event. I will take care of, obviously, my own transportation. All I ask is that I have a parking spot somewhat close to wherever this is going to be happening. And maybe just a spot where I could change. I'll come with my makeup on, but if you have like a restroom or something, I just don't want to drive and drag. Like, you see what's happening, like baby Huey in the car, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, it's for me, it's not what I like to do. So the guy was like, yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll loop back in. I said, okay, that sounds good. So that 40 minutes, by the way, is a consultation session. So when you call somebody in, you pay a consultation fee. I wasn't gonna take that because I did think, all right, listen, you're gonna use that $500. I have a Macy's bill. I have an American Express bill. I've got, you know what I mean? I like to look at all the streaming services, whether I use them or not. I complain about all of them because none of them have what I want. And I'm like, fuck, and then I just look at TikTok. So I left it at that. I let 3 days pass because it was coming up in 2 weeks. Messaged back, I didn't hear anything. I messaged back, I didn't hear anything again. I messaged back, I didn't hear anything again. It is surprising to me that there's someone responsible at major companies to reach out to queer talent for the queer talent, and that queer person can't follow through with the queer people that they're engaging with. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. I don't want to come to your event. Why don't you get up and show them what queerness is? Just say, we don't need to hire anybody. You give me the money, I work in this cubicle, I'll come up and show you what queerness is. Just do that. Because I don't understand why you're calling people and doing that. It's so disrespectful. It's so fucking rude. So that's why when people come to me, that's why I'm so cynical about shit like this. When people come, I'm like, keep it. Keep it. I'm really not interested. You absolutely have to go above and beyond. This weekend, I'm going to Lexington, Kentucky to do Very Delta Live at a Pride. And when I tell you that these were 2 kids and they messaged me, I'm talking about 2 like Gen Z people. And they reached out to me. They probably have never had this, but you know what they had was the wherewithal to go, what would I like? I would like someone to respond to me and say, thank you for that information. We just don't have that money right now. But you know what they said? Oh, that's all you want? We got that. So what's happening? What's happening? A red-eye first-class flight, 4 nights in a hotel in the Distillery District. Some of this, and I already told them I'm wearing chanclas to the event. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm for real. It's so weird. And the reason I say all this, the reason it comes up is because I'm so Gen X about everything. I really, really am. And I have a hard time saying like, oh, I can see that point or I can see this point. But sometimes people fucking surprise me. And I'm like, you know what? There are people out there that do understand. And just because they're younger or just because they're a little bit older than me doesn't mean they don't have a grasp on it. Not everybody's full of shit. Not everybody, and certainly not every young person is full of shit. And by the way, the person that I was dealing with the stripes and the one that goes to the outer space, they were 2 years older than me, so they were in my own generation. They should have fucking known better. And they were queers, homosexuals, faggots, however you want to call it. Do you want to see me take a break? Because I think you want to see me take a break. Our guest tonight is a queen of queens. She is a legend way before Drag Race. You knew her as Sutan from America's Next Top Model. You knew her as the host of Planet Diva at Oz in Buena Park. You knew her as a makeup artist on Robertson. You also knew her as a makeup artist at Nordstrom. Wait, where? South Coast Plaza. You also knew her as a legend from the House of Face. Please put your hands together for the one and only Raja!
I'm really happy to be here. Thank you so much, Delta, for having me. I'm happy to be here at Hamburger Mary's, Long Beach, one of my favorite places to perform. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being
This
here.
is divine. I love this.
But I feel like the wine is like warm now. Do you drink it warm? You drink red wine warm, and this is supposed to be cold, no? Do you put ice in your wine?
I don't think it even matters. I asked for they asked me what do you want to drink, Raja? And I said, a Sauvignon Blanc.
Right.
And then so, I'm just throwing it out there and I'm expecting a cold goblet of Sauvignon Blanc. And they come back, they're like, we only have Chardonnay. And I was like, whatever. I knew they didn't have Sauvignon Blanc, but I just did it anyway to just have fun with it.
Did you ask for the sommelier, or did they not even
and
offer?
I was
they don't even offer.
Jules wasn't here yet, so
that's what it is. When we were in the back, I told you we have to get right to this because it was really on the tip of your tongue and the tip of your ass. You were saying that you are really into sex noises now. It's like a thing.
It's a thing.
Tell
it's
me.
a thing. I'm just saying, porn is very accessible in this day and age, and our search bars are all very, very different, much like a fingerprint or an iris, our search bars. And mine, when I find a porn and you get that good, you know what I'm talking about. It's the sound. It's a sound. It's not a faking sound. It's not like an average dick in an ass. It's it's the dick of death in an ass.
What would it sound like? How would it start, though?
Well, it's more guttural. There's chills on the skin, and you just know that sound. You're all too familiar. But yeah, it's more it's like a.
Oh, see, I wasn't even thinking of the actual sound made by the diaphragm. I was thinking of the macaroni in the pot sound. You know what I'm saying?
Am I missing something? What are you talking about? Macaroni in the pot?
What does a macaroni sound like when you stir it? Like macaroni and cheese?
No. It's not that sound. It's not the ASMR.
You're talking about this of the diaphragm.
Guttural, when I say guttural, it's all in the up in the guts guttural.
Oh.
Gutsural.
Gutsural. What did Sharon used to say? The bile mile?
The bile mile. When it hits the bile mile.
And how do you know you're in the bile mile?
Because it's slightly sour and acidic, but to the taste slightly sweet, and even in scent. It's a faint poo. Very faint poo
faint
scent.
Poo.
Yeah.
I know. I believe there
Bile.
I believe there are chambers. I've talked about this. There are chambers. You know what I mean? Like when you go spelunking, people are like, "Oh no, it's safe." You heard about the Nutty Putty Cave? It's like that. Like you get in there, and once you're in there, you're like, "I'm safe." Oh no, I'm not safe anymore. I can't get out because if I do, it's a thing. So we each have our own Nutty Putty Cave to explore, and it's within the body.
Well, I say if you're going to get up in the chambers, make some money. So I call my chamber the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh! Have you seen the girl that goes like this? You get to see all the girls before the rest of us.
Mean?
The girl, you do tooted and booted or whatever. You get to see all of that before any of us do. I will tell you, she does that show, the tooted or booted, and she really doesn't spill tea. She could tell. I'm like, what happens? She's like, girl, watch TV. I get a check for this. I'm not fucking telling you, loudmouth. And she won't spill any of it.
Never.
Never.
I get paid so much.
No, there's a girl that goes like this. That's what.
So much money.
You know, when I used to be a guest on that show, I didn't get paid a fucking penny.
They sent me a PayPal.
A penny.
They Venmo me.
Oh, sick. You swear. What?
You're so dumb.
You're so dumb. You are so dumb.
Philip got me stoned outside, so
I know.
I don't know how this
Philip
is
was
gonna go.
walking around with the pipe that had 3 things on
Yeah,
it.
I know. I'm a little chueca right now, but do I look okay? I'm okay, right? Everything's okay. Everyone's fine. Everyone's good.
Is there something you want to go off about? Is there something bothering you? Is there
Not
something?
really.
No,
I'm a
you don't really
Gemini.
go off.
No, I'm a Gemini. We're fine.
Oh, you're fine.
That's your thing.
That's my thing.
Yeah, going
I've
off.
seen you go off before, though.
When?
Um, remember when you were gonna write me a check and you were like, we were at Rage.
That wasn't me going off.
That was you.
I did go off when remember that first time when we were in drag race and they gave us like food on styrofoam plates. And,
I do.
And they were gray
And what happened?
foods, and they threw it across the room.
I do.
And so that's me going off, right?
That was a very new, like Drag Race. I feel a lot of people say that like season 1 was the blueprint, and then some people say season 2 was more the blueprint. But I think season 3 was really the blueprint because that's where
We definitely had like more alcohol. Like
Oh,
I know
way
it
more.
was very definitely trimmed down because of Jujubee's drunkenness in the rock and roll challenge. That is definitely part of the history. But we still had a lot of leeway and we were able to drink and like there was like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
we had Absolute as the sponsor, so that alcohol was definitely a part of our story.
right.
It's different now, but we were the end of that, don't you think?
Do you think they have better food now? When you were on All Stars, was
it
there
was
better
yeah.
food?
That's that. Yeah, the food is definitely better. Way better.
I
That
think
was
we-
like that was like I was so impressed by it. I was like, wow, the food is good. Maybe I'll just shut the fuck up. And then I just like, But then I was 15 years ago, 14.
Yeah.
I was quite angry.
I feel like we always had La Salsa. That's what they brought in was La Salsa.
After
And then the thing was,
there
they
was
would-
Panda Express too. Remember late nights?
and it was just like rice and then something very sweet.
right.
And what they would do is they would bring the food out and they would say, the food is available for whoever wants some. And mind you, 2 chafing dishes this big for 16 grown men and who have not eaten all day because, you're like, I'm nervous. I don't want to eat. Like maybe I'll have like sharing a Nutri-Grain bar or something. So people are doing their confessionals and whoever's done first gets first dibs at the food. So you go back and there's like rice that's like all chewy on the side of the pan. You know what I'm talking about, that rice?
Disgusting.
There's just like a few peas.
Listen, I'm third world. I'm Indonesian. I'll pretty much eat anything. But season 3's like catering food was beyond my like. I couldn't even fathom like how to consume that. I'm from West Hollywood, for fuck's sake. Where's the protein? Can it be the color of protein?
Where's
Like,
the
it was
protein?
Crazy. It was crazy.
You heard?
You heard?
What are you watch? Are you well? Obviously, you have to watch All Stars because you do the fashion photo review. Do you have a pony in the race? Is there somebody you love?
No.
No.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Is there somebody you like?
Oh, all of them, really.
Oh God, Miss America, Miss America.
Seriously. No, I do. I like all of them. I think they're all like really amazing. I love, but I love like the next leveling of fashion and styling that I could never afford. I'm like, oh, let those kids
Oh, but
do
come
it.
on
You know
now,
what I'm
like
saying?
on our season, even when it came to like creating something,
Yeah.
right? You were like, I have enough of a grasp of this that I can create something out
Right.
of nothing. And then when you were on All Stars, that fucking laser thing, I mean, that's one-upping. That's setting a bar for many people,
Yeah,
don't you think?
I think their package is even more than my laser 3D printed thing. They're just going for it. There's so much money involved in it, which I love because it's the fantasy that we've always wanted to achieve as drag queens. We're like, wow, what if we could spend this much money? And it's all there. But then like now, I am actually like just personally for my own like joy is reverting, receding, going back to the bare bones of it, and just kind of like, you know what? So I wore this costume 8 times. I paid for it. I can wear it as many fucking times as I
1000%.
want. You know what I'm saying?
1000%.
I think it's gotten a little bit out of control, which I appreciate. When you're on the show, you should definitely throw some money into the package because you're on the highest pageant that there could exist in at least the country, if not the world. It's like all eyes are on you. Definitely spend the money on it. But let's not forget how cheap and fun it is to do drag when you just don't do all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? Like it
For
doesn't
sure.
have to cost that much. Have you met Detox? I'm just kidding.
She spends a lot of money on all those old suits and stuff. Old suit and a pair of fluorescent heels. I'm ready to go. I don't need anything else. Put a skinny belt on. It's fashion. It's fashion. Huh? Open the purse. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everybody, that's her brand. We were talking about, I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't know. I'm so stoned.
You are so
I am
stoned. You do
way
this
fucked up.
you do this to me every single
I know,
time.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, you did.
It
Yeah,
was
you
like
did.
an $80 Uber. I had to like.
Girl, get a car. What? You get some of that tooted or booted money and get you a car, baby.
Let me
One-
text RuPaul.
Text RuPaul.
I'm
You want
gonna
me to
text
text her? I'll send her a message. Sometimes I look through my phone and I'm like, her
You
number's
probably have
right
her
there.
current number.
I do. And
Yeah,
I'm like, there's
mine's
that
from, like,
number right
2000.
there. And then the number to the apartment. You remember the apartment.
What are you talking about?
Never mind. We'll leave it there. We are back with our special guest, Raja. We were talking about, before you came out here, I was introducing you and telling people about all the different hats that you've worn, figuratively and literally. But some people know you as a makeup artist from South Coast Plaza. Some people-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Mac girl, bitch. I've been, the ADHD thing, again, we keep going back to this, but like, there's a part of me that always wants to like do a Depop store.
There's a
and
bug fucking in here.
you know what that is.
It came from my real flowers.
Right. But there's a part of me who wants to do like a sale of things, including my Mac pins.
Oh, you should.
Are those archival?
I believe so.
Because I have some from the 90s when I used to be a Mac girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
I started in 1990, I want to say 1994, when RuPaul was the Mac girl.
Right.
So that was the year that I started.
I feel like there was a time in the 90s when we all were working sort of retail jobs. But I remember at the time I was working Robinson's May, and the thing at Rob May was you got your pins. So it was based on mystery shops, right? So the more mystery shops positive you got, the more you would, and at meetings, they would be like, oh, you're a gold star. Then you would be a garnet star, a diamond star. And you're talking about these pins. It was weird at that time because retail was like such a, it was a mark of distinction, like where you worked in the department store or where you worked in the mall. And those sort of rewards aren't really something you see as much anymore. And it made you think like, well, I'm so rewarded by this company and I want to like floss in front of other people. So you would walk by with all your Mac.
For sure,
You
for
know.
sure. I worked at South Coast Plaza. You said it. It's like that mall had everything. It had Dior, it had Chanel. So during the lunch break, during the smoke break, you'd be hanging out with those girls, and they were treated as sort of celebrities in
Yeah.
a sense. At least in the smoke break room, alley by the dumpster, they were like, oh, there's the Chanel girl. Oh, hey, girl, how's business? Oh, yeah, Mac is fine. We're doing great. Lots of spice pencils, lots of lip gloss. Yeah, we're doing great. And, it was just like it was like a prowess of the 90s. It's like, where did you work in retail? So,
Yeah.
very
What
nice.
are 3 Mac products you can remember from back in the day that you wish were still around now?
That's too complicated. But the things that I will always go to, like, okay, 1984. What's the math on that?
That's 30 years.
30 years. Yeah. Okay. So the things that I will never.
I'm not throwing shade. I graduated in 1994, so I'm not throwing shade.
I'm just thinking of like what was like
The
nostalgic and cool.
fucking
then.
bug, I swear. This place has bugs.
Verushka lipstick.
Verushka lipstick,
Current lip liner.
current lip liner.
Chestnut lip liner. What?
Flesh pot.
Shivering White? Oh, goth. Okay, goth. No, I'm a brown girl. We didn't do Shivering White. We did Fragile Peach. That was it. Anyway, there's so many. Mac was so fun.
So you're just not going to answer the question. That's fine.
I don't
You
know. What
have
was
to-
the question? I don't
See?
remember. Where
See?
am I? Where am
See?
I? What's going on?
Pedo already. Just messed up on wine.
pedo.
And let me ask you something that I think a lot of people, I feel like love fragrance.
Okay.
And you love fragrance.
Yeah, I do. Very
What
much.
what would you say are the components of a good fragrance for yourself? Like, what do you like to wear?
I mean, like, it's really easy for a person like me to get very caught up in a very specific and identifiable and predictable idea of what I would like because, you know, I'm into dark things and witchy things but like that is all a base of what I like. Like I love tobacco, vanilla, whiskey, leather, dark, Palo Santo, sandalwood, you know, those things. But sometimes I like a little bit of surprise.
And what would be a surprise?
Like citrus. You know,
Yeah.
citrus.
It's interesting because yes,
Bergamot? What's a berg? I don't even know what a bergamot is actually.
but you know what everything else is.
What's
You
a
mentioned-
bergamot? Is that a flower? It's a
Isn't it
flower.
something citrus on top? See?
Like bergamot and citrus go together, but like what is a bergamot?
Well, is it a bird? Is it a plane?
It's a
a
fruit.
fruit.
Thank you, because
See?
wow, you're really
I
excited
actually would
about
love
that. Okay.
to. I would love to know more. I always tell people like because
You
I'm
could've
such
just
a
sent me
fan of
link,
fragrance.
But you were like, yeah, that's
I like it.
out. It's too much.
fruit.
Citrus.
Fuck.
Ah.
Yo 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 yo.
Dis-toi. God.
It's a lot for fruit. You know what I
Aggressive.
mean?
Citrus.
It is the
especially.
season of fruit.
Like I never get that wild about citrus. Like
You don't?
Other fruits.
What about melon? If you had to pick watermelon,
Only
cassava
one-
melon?
Only one.
Only one what? What is it?
Water. Dumb.
You like watermelon?
Yeah, any watermelon. Yeah.
What
I
do you
don't
like to put on it?
Cantaloupe. I don't like honeydew.
You don't like cantaloupe.
No.
Why?
It's cantaloupe.
What's so special about watermelon?
It's not cantaloupe.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe I'm still fucked up.
You are fucked up. But I love you fucked up.
No,
I've always.
I love watermelon because like recently since it's gotten hotter, in the last like 3 days it's gotten especially like, but like the watermelon and like the cooling crunch and like the, yeah, it's very particular. It's like a thing.
But we've talked about this before because we always have a movie in our mind about the way things are supposed to go. And so if we notice, like, again, eating watermelon and it drips, it kind of takes you in that place where, like, you're squatting down with your legs wide open and your sundress is dripping down and you're eating it like, and it drips down and there's a man walking by. You're like, oh, I'm sorry. And, like, right? Like, there's a story.
And you're washing your hair in a bucket with Timote shampoo.
Yeah, and the song goes,
You know.
Timote.
It's a white horse.
And your ski slope titties are like
Sissy
out.
Spaceks. Just
Sissy
sissy
basic
space.
titties. And the
there's
nipples
one- there's
are kind
one
of
there.
engorged. Right, like that, like that. That looks like somebody put a cigarette out. What is it, fuck? For reals. A Rolo. Remember Rolo candy? It's all smashed on the shoe, on your socks. The socks that you wear outside that have the gripper, like those from the hospital. That's your nipple. But they're like this. They're like elven tits or something. Like, like titties. What is a fetish of yours that no one knows that you could tell us right now?
These days?
Yeah.
Donuts.
Fuck! What do you love about donuts?
I love it when they're cream filled. I love it when they've got a sugary brulee coating. I love it when they taste like pistachios.
And what else?
And I love the guilt. I love the guilt after eating too. I love hot coffee.
Yeah.
I love that it reminds me of church.
How does it feel to be the diamond-crowned queen?
You don't even know.
I don't
You
know.
Don't. You
I don't know.
It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
electrical. Every day I wake up.
You know, Christina Aguilera said, every day is so wonderful.
I love it. I love being me.
What do you love about being you?
Caftans.
I love a
And
caftan.
Caftans, clutches, joints, friendships, ghosts.
You have a ghost in your home.
Yes, I have many ghosts.
Has it made a return recently, the one that you told me about?
They're there every day.
Do you see them every day, feel them every day?
Feel them, but not see them.
Have
Yeah.
you ever seen one at all?
What do you mean by that?
Well, visually with your eyes, have you seen a mist?
Well, I've never.
You know what I mean? Have you
No,
seen...
no. No, I've never actually seen one like in ghost figure, but I've definitely seen movements.
When you die, do you think that whatever you're wearing is your ghost outfit for the rest of
course.
your life?
Of course.
So
Don't
what
be
do you
dumb.
hope to die wearing?
I'm probably gonna die tonight. It'll be this: a poet blouse, a thigh-high leather boots. The reason that we're friends is because we know that the potential of dying could be tonight.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I always think, like, I'm just going to check out.
Where
at
did that
one point.
girl?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember one time when you did have a car? We drove to Las
Over
Vegas.
20 years ago.
We drove to Las Vegas in your car in the middle of the night.
Big
and
beam.
this is when we had CDs and Case Logic to hold of our book. And so she had the window down and was throwing CDs into the desert. And that's when we learned about Sandy Schmagak.
Schmagak.
Do you remember her?
Yeah, she was a politician in Las Vegas, Nevada. Early
Where?
2000s. Very, very
You think
early.
you're better when you say Nevada? It's very Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada.
You know the answer to that.
Nevada.
Nevada.
Anyway, this lady was running for office, and we saw signs everywhere that said Sandy Schmagak.
We loved it. We were
and
so
to this
obsessed.
day,
I wasn't even
we don't know
smoking
what
that
to
much
say.
weed then, and I was like so amused by that.
no, but you were. No, well, never
I was
mind.
coked out.
Yeah. And you forced me to do a half a bump of cocaine. I want to thank Doug for bringing me a fresh Diet Coke. This one's different. This one's different. This one's from the can. What was the other one from? Didn't I say? What did I say earlier? Remember what I said? How did I say it? How did I say it? Remember how I said it? You heard me. It's fucked up. I don't like it. The hose, it's not. You know what I think it is? I think people like to say like, oh, we have Coke. I think it's CNC.
I love
or it's
Coke,
like,
by the way.
It's like something else. Like I
love
learned a long
Coke.
time
I
ago
love
that there's
Coke so much.
top shelf, there's well,
I love really
and there's
good Coke.
below well.
One
right?
time I went to Mexico, not long, wasn't that long ago. I went to Mexico and somebody asked me, do you want Coke? And I was like, no, I'll do it after the show. And so I actually waited and
Tuesday.
they brought me Coke and I did the Coke and I actually cried. It was the most beautiful Coke.
Because you knew how you had let down all of your fans.
What
Shit,
are
'cause
we
that's-
talking about again?
Girl, fuck off. We are back with our extra special guest, Rasha.
Hi guys. Hello everyone.
This is the part of the show called Read Me Delta, where we normally receive letters from viewers and listeners. They have questions, they have queries. But instead of that, because we're in a live format, we are going to take questions from the audience. Doug has a microphone. He's going to wander around and get some questions. Make them good. I have to tell you,
Breed me Delta.
Hi, Delta and Raja. I just want to say congratulations on the 100th episode for
Thank
Delta.
you.
And Raja, congratulations on a birthday month. So I just want to know, what is the most memorable road trip that either one of you have had? I know you've mentioned the road trip with the throwing the CDs out the window, but maybe besides that one, what is just a very memorable road trip experience?
Okay. You got me churning. Well, I was just thinking because I was just recently in Canada, and there's in every airport, in every part of Canada, there's this business called Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons. The first time I ever learned about Tim Hortons was on a trip to Canada, a very specific niche countryside part of Canada, where I first learned about Tim Hortons through Delta. So maybe that has some sort of significance for me.
So.
Tim Hortons through
Yeah,
Assibonne. What is the place called?
So we went.
Guatemala.
We went to this
Canada.
gig at a college, in a small college town. The two of us went together, and we couldn't pronounce the name. We just couldn't commit it to understanding the word. And I think that the name is Assiniboine, but we thought it was Assibonne.
Yeah.
Because it was French.
It became more and more elaborate.
And so we were like, oh, yeah, like we're in
Assibonne,
Assibonne.
yeah.
Like, it's so Assibonne. Everything here is Assibonne. And like we didn't, and the lady that drove us picked us up, and it was like a 3-hour drive from the airport to the like.
Yeah. And so that was one of our stops. We stopped at a Tim Hortons.
I wanted to go because I listen to true crime podcasts, and I love podcasts produced by the CBC. I think the CBC podcasts are insanely good storytelling. And so I always hear about these people doing first-person accounts, and they're talking about, oh, we met up at Tim Hortons, which would be like, I don't know, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever.
Very
so
Dunkin'
I wanted to go,
Donuts,
and
yeah.
she's like, oh God, it's fucking snowing. I don't want to get in the car. Why are you so pent up about this fucking place? And I'm like, it's something I wanted to do.
No, I get it. I understand that every place that we go to has their very specific place that is quintessential that area. So no, now every time I'm in Canada and I see a Tim Hortons, I do think of you. But we've had some epic trips just otherwise, between like our apartments to Santee Alley. That enough is as an epic trip.
American Airlines says it's not the destination, it's the journey. And I believe that. I don't
fly American Airlines, no.
Well, we like road trips, so we believe it. No. We believe it. You make friends along the way, you know?
People take road trips because they fly American Airlines. Like, it's just not a good idea.
It's always a first class seat, so
I fly Delta. Don't you fly Delta?
If I can't, listen, you have a manager, I don't have a manager. I'm on Travelocity, fucking changing my IP address every time so I can figure out what's the cheapest. And I'm like, what am I doing here? That's first class. If I can get a first class round trip under $1,400 across the country, I am fucking Gucci. So happy. Doug, you'd be so proud of me. I said Gucci. Doug says that shit all the time. Doug is like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, for sure.
Very.
You're a wild stallion.
Like the style is it's very Beavis and Butthead. Like,
oh,
really,
fuck yeah, fuck yeah, thank you.
Not like a bad thing. Like, it's very.
You want to know a
stylistic.
secret about Doug? Doug used to be
choice.
a school teacher. A very good school teacher. Yeah.
So hot.
Questions.
Teach
okay,
me.
we got this table back here.
Fucking teach
Here
me.
we go. We have LaBerge up here.
Oh, bitch, okay.
Okay.
Where are you? Everyone,
La
letters that come to the podcast from LaBerge. This is my love, LaBerge.
This question is for Delta and Raja. I wanted to ask, is wearing a crushed velvet spaghetti strap mini dress with white pleasers with a michelada pressed against the front of your throat while your head is tilted back with seductive bedroom eyes, dancing to the flirts, danger at Santa Fe Spring. Very Delta and very Raja.
Very Delta. Very Delta.
It's very both, actually. It's very both. There was a time. Do you remember?
All the way.
Do you remember when we used to wear the clear heels with the thick heel? The clear
Yeah.
Jante shoes.
I'm always looking for it.
We're
Like
still
I need
looking for
a
those.
yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
No, but really, the Santa Fe swing swap meet,
It's very me.
profound. Like we should sell merch there.
You know who I want on the podcast?
I think we would do well. We think we would do well. We would sell a lot of T-shirts, tank tops, maybe like Dickies with Delta, very Delta printed
I
in
see
Old
it.
English. You see where I'm going? Maybe in my old age now I'm a marketing genius. Old English, very Delta. You see what I just said right there? I fucking gave it away. Don't you steal it. Let it be
will.
known I said it in Hamburger.
I started it now. I started it now. I started it right now.
Okay, wait, what else? What merch would I like? Like like Gwen. But I want Delta, Old English. Just
Do you
going
know
out-
that?
Going out the
Do you remember
Old English.
Holla Back Girl?
Yeah,
right?
very holla back girl. Very holla.
Raja doesn't always spill the tea, but one day she called me and was like, I'm on the set of
Holla Back Girl.
of a,
Yes, I
a
was on
music
that.
video for a song called Holla Back Girl. I'm doing makeup, and I need you to go right now and get a pair of brown Dickies, get a belt buckle that says bananas, a spaghetti strap top that says Gwen on the front or lamb. She read it off to me. She's like,
That's
go
right.
get it, and you're wearing it at fucking the club. Get it now
Tomorrow.
before the bitches, because all the girls would get it, but she was like, the little bitches, they won't have it, but you're a big bitch, and then you'll have it, and they're not gonna know where it fucking came from. Get
Yeah.
that shit now. My friends, this is like, I'm really lucky. We could go back and forth about whatever. My closest friends, like that sort of raised me in drag, because they were doing drag before I was, never let me know that I couldn't wear what a celebrity was wearing or be inspired by something or wear what I wanted, or that I had to sort of make an allowance, like, I'm beautiful, but I'm this big girl or whatever. They wouldn't stand for that. That was not a thing for them. They were never like, do the big girl version. They were like, no, do the version and just go fucking kill it, and that's it. Or and if you want to fucking half-step it, we're not hanging out, because it's not that way. I was lucky, because a lot of people were not lucky with that. A lot of people know that they have to sort of, and there's nothing wrong with being irreverent or taking a funny fat joke or whatever. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if it's a good fat joke. But if that's all it is, it's like, wow, why are you gonna be somebody's punching bag all the time? And I'm lucky. I keep a real close, tight group of friends, and I don't always let too many other people in, because like she was saying about Drag Race, like a lot of people are influenced by it, so they see what they see and they're like, oh, that's how I respond to you. That's how I have to respond to a queen of color or an Asian queen or a fat queen or whatever. It has to be this way and this way only. And so like, why is this going out? I want to die so bad. When we talk about that, it's like, I always think about this, truly every episode that I sit down where I decide, like I just recently put this wig on and this shirt, and I was like, I look like fucking Linda Tripp. Like, this is fully Linda Tripp. But I was like, whatever, I'm wearing it. Like, it's just one day, it's just one outfit. Like, wear something else fucking cool next time, or wear whatever. But I always have my friends in my head that are like, it is just drag. It is supposed to be fun. But don't half-step it. Like, do it, commit to it, have fun, live, you know what I mean? And so that's why a night like this is so important. I don't know where that came from. It's not really you, but it's more
What
that.
about that video you sent me of the little girl who was like all zenned out in the middle of the forest? You're like, oh
She
my God,
looked
this
just
is
like you. She was
I know.
gorgeous. She was like
And like the-
15
and like the
in a
poetry
canoe.
does it.
Yeah.
Delta gets me. Delta gets me.
That's but she really, like her face looked like you.
She was like my child. If I
Yeah.
ever had a child, if I ever
Yeah.
like, got a girl knocked up or a vagina knocked up,
What if you could have a baby from your butt? Can you imagine?
I'd be a Mormon.
What?
I'd have a lot of kids.
Do you ever soak?
Soak?
You know what soaking is? Do you ever neck? Johnny, do you want a neck?
What's that?
Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. This has been so
Happy
much
to be
fun.
here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening and watching Very Delta.
friend.
Our show comes out every Monday. Please subscribe to Mom Podcast YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode. Search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps to listen to the audio-only version if you can't take all of this visual beauty. You haven't finished your juice at all. You can also sign up for our premium
one more.
offerings on Mom Plus Gold by visiting mompodcast.plus, where you get weekly episodes of More Very Delta. Don't forget to send all of your questions, comments, and queries to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork, and where can everyone follow you?
Just my Instagram. It's fine.
It's fine. You're so high-low today.
Just
I feel like you're
you
going
can leave
in
me a
weight.
message, but I have a very small circle of people that are allowed into
You
my
don't speak
messages
to
anyway.
most.
And then once in a while, like every few months, I'll look into it and be like, oh, how sweet. They said hello and worshipped.
The Diamond Crown Queen.
And I just want to say a very happy congratulations to Delta Work for completing 100
I love you.
episodes of Very Delta.
I love you.
Honestly, this was a labor of it was not about love. It was about like just Delta really kind of conquering a certain concept. And you've done so well with this. And as a friend and as a person who's known you, a Gemini Aquarius relationship, I am so incredibly proud of your vulnerability that you've provided to your huge audience now.
Thank you.
And the work that you put into it. I'm incredibly, incredibly proud of you, and you are a fucking star, as you know. And baby, you found your niche. You have found your niche.
We
and
are niche. We're niche.
We are in the Delta niche right now.
I
So
love you.
congratulations
Thank you.
to you.
I love you.
Thanks for having me. Bow down. Everyone get up and bow down. No, get up and bow down like this.
Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Margot Padilla. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. Hi, baby.
Mom!
To listen to Very Delta ad-free, one day early, and to get access to more Very Delta and all of Mom Podcast's premium content, check out Mom Plus Gold at mompodcast.plus.